1, 2.
Are you ready for fun?
Ready for fun?
Are you ready today?
Hi, this is Pete, and welcome to the first video in a series of 30 plus that I'm making to promote each song on the album Silhouette, Dafni's songs performed by her friends, an album that I co-produced with Alfonso Rodenas as a tribute to my late wife, Dafni Amirsakis, and a tribute to our friends in the music scene, in Americana music scene in Los Angeles. I'm sitting outside the chemistry department at UCLA. This is where I met Dafni in, I think it was April 1999. I was traveling across the country to visit as a tourist, and I came to visit Los Angeles to, just for one day, see some of my friends that I'd known from my time when I was in the research group in the UK, in Fraser Stoddard's research group. And Dafni was a graduate student in Fraser Stoddard's labs. And I met her because I was using her computer in her lab office, and I was checking my email, and she came in and she was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Dafni," really cheerful and pleasant and nice. And I was like, "Oh, I'm Peter Klink," and I'm just, and she was like, "Oh, you're Peter Klink," because she recognized my name from some of the papers that had come out from the work I'd done with Fraser in England. And she was working on kind of offshoot of those projects. And so we got along really well instantly. She was just so nice and easy to talk to, and fun and friendly and smart and sweet. And yeah, I liked her straight away. And I probably saw her a couple of times, maybe out when the group of us went out to dinner or lunch the next day. And yeah, just I thought she was a really nice, sweet girl. And as I was flying back to Australia, I remember thinking to myself, wow, that Dafni, she's really someone that I would really like to have as a girlfriend. And didn't really think much of it because I was flying back to Australia and I didn't really know what I was going to be doing. But a year later I came back to Los Angeles and started working for Fraser again, and Dafni was still in the group, and she was single and I was single, and we got together, and then we became girlfriend and boyfriend. Eventually got married, and we were together for 16 years before she died. And yeah, I'll tell a little bit more about our relationship story as in subsequent videos. But this video is really about the song "Are You Ready for Fun?" Performed by the Modern Skiffle Quartet. Modern Skiffle Quartet is a band that Dafni and I went to see many times in their first incarnation, which was Ben Vaughan and Dan Janish on like guitars, banjitar and vocals, Kevin Jarvis on the drums, and Lucas Cheadle on the bass. Lucas left the band kind of didn't play anymore, and then one day Dafni got an email from Ben Vaughan that just said bass ? And she didn't know what that meant. Like, what does that mean? And I said, I think he wants you to play bass for him. And it turns out he wanted her to play bass in the Modern Skiffle Quartet, and which is what happened. And Dafni, she was a little reluctant to begin with, but she got a bass. She learned all the songs, and she was really good at it, and she fit into the band perfectly, and it was like really fun to watch them play thereafter. They played, I think she was probably in the band for about 3 years. Towards the end of her life, she played with them probably more often than she played her own solo shows, probably. But it was a kind of a side shoot band. There wasn't everyone else had their own. Ben and Dan and Dafni had their own bands, and this was just like a kind of a fun little side project, singing a bunch of skiffle songs and just having a bunch of fun. This song Dafni wrote for the skiffle band to play, and it's kind of just, it's like a really silly little song with pretty dumb lyrics, but it's fun. I can say that about the lyrics because I helped her with the lyrics. So we kind of wrote this song. You could say we wrote the song together, but it's pretty much her song, and I just helped a little bit with the lyrics, with a bit of the rhymes, trying to see what rhymes with Dan Janish, what rhymes with Ben Vaughan, what rhymes with Kevin Jarvis, Marvelous, Janish, Vanish, Vaughan, just hold on, I think the lyric is. Yeah, she intended this song to be performed by the band, but she sent it to Ben. Ben said, well, this is kind of an opening song, and we already have an opening song, so it's not going to fit into the set. So that was kind of it, forgotten. So when I came time to make this record, I wanted Ben to play on the record, and I suggested, well, why not do that song that Dafni wrote for the Skiffle band? And he agreed, Dan agreed, and Kevin Jarvis agreed. So yeah, here it is. It was one more thing I have to say. I really want to thank the guys, Ben, Dan, Kevin, and Alfonso as the engineer, because it was such a fun session to be at. Probably, I don't know what it was, 2 or 3 hours. The guys didn't rehearse the song. They just got into the studio, got out the lyric sheet, and tried to learn Dafni's phrasing, because it's a little awkward, some of the phrasing, because of the lyrics, so I had to be crammed in there. But it was such a fun session. Everyone did the song in the wonderful spirit, and I think it turned out really well. I mean, they're masterful musicians, great performers, and I'm so happy that they did this song. So happy this song finally got an outlet, and I think the title of the song, Are You Ready for Fun, is a perfect introduction for this record, for introduction if you've never heard Dafni's music, to check it out, check out this record, check out the other artists that are on the record. So I think it's a beautiful record, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy all the other videos in this series, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, here it is, the Modern Skiffle Quartet with Are You Ready for Fun?
The first time I met Dafni was at the Coffee Gallery in Altadena. I went there to see Bob Lind, a singer-songwriter who had a big hit in the 60s called Elusive Butterfly. And I had been communicating with Bob Lind, and he invited me to that show. And she opened. And I'd never heard of Dafni. And I think it was pretty early in her career.
I met her through playing in the band Mule, and we had a discussion sort of pretty soon after I met her about playing a show together, and I think she said she'd like to play with us, and we said, well, then let's book a show. And she, for some reason, thought, you guys will actually play a show with me. And it's like, yeah. You know, to try to bring some people to come and see us, we have to steal from other people.
You want to?
Yeah, of course I do.
Let's see, I've been instructed not to mention the cinema bar. So but that's where I probably met her, was at the cinema bar. Mm-hmm. And probably just seen her play a couple times, and then I was fortunate enough to play with her as well. And then, of course, that all came down to playing with the Skiffle group.
And I saw her set, and I really liked her set, and I introduced myself to her, and then we talked that night, and I've known her ever since.
Now, we did that, and we were pretty much friends since then.
I was amazed right away when I saw her play, because her finger picking, it was like really very solid, and the guitar looked really big on her the first time I saw her play, and she just was this force of nature. And I remember that first night she did Dimes in My Pocket and told a story about it before the song, and then did the song. And that was kind of my way into Dafni. That song for me should be a million selling hit. I felt that the minute I heard it, and still do, actually.
I've got diamonds in my pocket, I've got diamonds in my pocket. I hope they're gonna get me home tonight. I got diamonds in my pocket, I got diamonds in my pocket. Everything is gonna be alright. I'll get home to see my baby, I'll get home to see my baby. 'Cause I've been working all day long.
She was an amazing songwriter, and besides just loving her songs, I love her voice and just the spirit that she brings to anybody's song, whether it's hers or somebody else's.
I thought she was wonderful and pretty singular. But she's pretty phenomenal at lots of... There's some songs where when I hear them now, it's just, they're kind of amazing. There's really no other song like that to me. And then she wrote the Skiffle Band song, you know.
Are you ready for fun? Yeah, yeah. Are you ready to dance? Yeah, yeah. Are you ready to move and groove in your satin holiday pants? Don't be sad. Don't you sniffle. It's Saturday night. Let's get down and skiffle.
Well, the song that Dan and I recorded today is a song that Dafni sent to us as an MP3, and I forget what happened. I think my response, I really like the song, but my response was, we have an opening song that we do every time we play with the Skiffle Band called Good Morning Blues, and it's like really the setup, and Dan and I had decided we're never going to do a show without doing that song first. And then Dafni sent me this song, and I said, well, hold it, this is going to kind of replace our opening song. And then so we never got back around to it. And then just recently I became familiar with it again, and it's a really cool song. And we recorded it today, and it was kind of hard to do it actually without laughing all the way through it, because it's probably her silliest song, I would think, maybe, right? I would think it probably is. Yeah. So of course we do it.
You ain't hurt nothing, ain't hurt nothing, just hold on, rock the rhythm roll, let's drive old and Bonnie. Well,
Wait a second. Thank you, good night.
I actually think something pretty funny about that song. It explains something about Dafni's sort of jubilant personality. And she wanted everybody to have a nice, good time. She liked to see people happy. And that song, that's what it's about. It charms the heck out of me, that song.
Are you ready for fun?
ready for fun,
Are you ready to dance?
ready to dance.
Groove in the satin holiday pants. Well, don't be sad.
Don't be sad,
Don't you sniffle.
don't you sniffle. It's Saturday night, let's get down and skiffle.
Forget about your job.
About your job,
Forget about your boss.
forget about your phone.
Tell him to shove it.
Tell him he can shove it,
It'll be his law.
be his law.
You got trouble.
You got trouble,
Well, watch your back.
watch him vanish. When you hear that swing guitar solo by Dan Canyon.
I still think you should have put the recording you have of her. It's wonderful. And it's just a simple scratch recording she did, but that's my favorite version of that song. And I'm pretty sure if everybody heard it, they're like, yeah, you can't really touch that too much. So,
Tell me how you do.
How you doing?
Are you feeling high?
Feeling high,
Like you're 10 feet tall.
10 feet tall,
And you can touch the sky.
touch the sky.
You ain't hurt nothing.
Ain't got another,
So just hold on.
just hold on. Rockin' to the moon, bear guitar, Mr. Ben Bone.
then her rhymes in it are just funny how her sense of humor in that song is wonderful. And now for something simply marvelous. Drum solo from Kevin Jarvis. It's great.
Truly marvelous. Some drumming from Kevin Jarvis.
I wish we got a chance to play it over and over again, and yeah, it was a beautiful song. And sums up our little combo for sure.
Too much. Drink too much. You're starting to spin. Starting to spin. Need to set up a date. Set up a date. But you don't like him. Don't like him. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Won't regret. Saturday night with the model Skiffle Quartet. No, don't be sad. Don't be sad. Won't regret. Saturday night with the model Skiffle Quartet. Now don't be sad. Don't be sad. And don't you sniffle. Don't you sniffle. It's Saturday night.
You just can't stand yourself, can you?
No, it was you go sniffle.
Well, I wanted to add something.
It was the tiniest voice. Sniffle.
It was pretty fun for everybody. We pretty much laughed our way through that session, which was funny because it was that song, and she made a really enjoyable song. So,
Dan and I started the Modern Skiffle Quartet. I don't know what year it was. Probably 2008 or around there somewhere. And we played for about a year and a half. We had a friend of ours named Lucas playing bass, and then he moved. And Dan and I, we kind of couldn't figure out what to do because Dan's a leader and I'm a leader, and we were having just trouble being on stage together and figuring out how not to, have this push and pull. And we were invited to play a going away party for a guy named Todd at the cinema bar, and Dan and I decided, well, let's play together for that. We'll play for 20 minutes. And he said, who do you want to play bass? And I said, well, I had a conversation with Dafni, and she told me that she played bass in high school, and so we should give her the gig, And of course she was like, you want me to do what? I said, play bass. She goes, I haven't played since high school. And I said, you're already overqualified. This is skiffle. There are 3 chords. You'll be fine.
yeah, Ben wanted her to play bass. He wanted to put that band back together. That band had existed, and then we weren't together for a couple of years, and we were going to be playing something that was one of those nights where they have plenty of people playing. And he said, well, let's do this, because we'd both been asked to do that. I said, okay. That was his idea. He's like, look, I want Dafni to play bass. And then she did it, and I don't know, I can't remember, she had like kind of a metal bass. It was like a heavy metal bass.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Ball. Dan Janish.
But seeing her play that thing was crack up. This giant bass.
Dafni on bass.
Jeff, I don't mean anything bad about that bass. It's just a metal bass.
And we did that gig, and it put an end to the push and pull between Dan and myself. I don't know what she provided, but she provided something in there where Dan and I knew exactly where she balanced it out in some odd kind of way. I don't exactly know how you would describe what she brought to it besides the bass playing, but Dan and I started behaving from that point on. The relative term, behaving. But the struggle between us on how to share the stage came to a complete end the minute she started playing bass. Mm-hmm. It was a perfect addition. It was the right choice.
She was the only one who was working hard in that band, and we all just sort of lean on her. There's a couple of those songs that you don't really even think about, but she'd be stuck with the task of keeping the song going for like 6-7 minutes.
The Modern Skiffle Quartet was 4 people, and Dafni's gone. So when we recorded this song, Dan and I decided, and Kevin, we decided that we should not have any bass at all and just be the Modern Skiffle trio for this, singing her song. So it seemed like the right thing philosophically to do.
The Skiffle band wouldn't play anymore. We can't have a Skiffle band without Dafni. And so, but we did want to do that recording. But, yeah, we did it without any bass because Dafni has to be in the Skiffle band. So, and she'd kind of become the center of the Skiffle band, at least in I think in Ben's heart and in my heart. Because him and I do the most talking of anybody in that, but I would just think with everybody. So, yeah.
All right, so
I think it sounds good too. It's nice the bass is in there because it's there if you think about it.
More than anything, I think what I remember about her is just her amazing spirit. Every time I saw her, just a big smile on her face, and that is, I'll treasure that forever.
My favorite memory, was I would always lower the mic stand for her before she would sing, and one time I just loosened it and let it go all the way down until it was only like about 2 feet on the floor. And her reaction to that was pretty funny. She I think appreciated the joke. I'm not sure, but they got a big laugh. I think my favorite feeling about her, and somebody else said this in a Facebook post, and it really described it. She always was either laughing or just getting ready to laugh, and that was I thought the best way of putting it, really. Mm-hmm. Her personality and her sense of self or something was always, she was ready for a good time all the time.
And then I had that thought after. I think I told you, it was like, man, we should have made a version with Kevin, Ben, and myself to that old recording, which maybe we'll have to do someday.
Yeah, well, we can always do it again, yeah.
Are you ready for fun? Ready for fun, are you ready to dance? Moving your side, holiday band. Don't be sad, don't you sniffle. Saturday night, let's get down and skiffle. Forget about your job, forget about your job, forget about your ball. Tell him he can shove it, tell him he can shove it. It'll be his law, it's law. You got trouble, man, watch your back. Watch your back. When you hear that swing guitar, solo by Dan Jenny. Tell me how you doing? How you doing? Are you feeling high? Feeling high. Like you're 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall. And you can touch the sky. Touch the sky. You ain't heard nothing. Ain't heard nothing. Just hold on. Just hold on. Rock it to the moon. Banjo time, Mr. Ben Bone. Too much? Drink too much? Are you starting to spin? Starting to spin. Did you set up a date? Set up a date. But you don't like him. Don't like him. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. One thing you won't regret. Won't regret. Spend your Saturday night with the modern Skiffle Quartet. No, don't be sad. Don't be sad. One thing you won't regret. Won't regret. Spend your Saturday night with the modern Skiffle. That one seemed pretty good. Yeah.
Is it good?
Let's go see.